Good morning, good morning. We are back in the desert. We have not been here for quite a while. This route, anyway, it's 395 to the right of us. We are northbound to Sparks, Nevada. Basically Reno. We got a driver that works with us, Reno Bob. He's from there. He likes to watch this channel once in a while, he says, which is actually kind of cool. He's like, I don't know why. I got a lot of experience. I go, yeah, I watch some other truck drivers. I don't know why. Just the way it is, I reckon. I think it's more of a different perspective. Inyo County line. Inyo County. We are Inyo County. We're at a little gas station right there, Shell, right on the county line. It's right after the 395 and the 14 mix, or merge, I guess is the correct term. There's a bunch of old cars in that wrecking yard to the right. The way they're restoring cars now, resto mods and all that, have some fun in that place. We are going to go up through the Sierra Nevadas, up into the high country, Mono Lake, swing by June Lake. I'm going to speed down here a bit. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood with 83 balmy degrees. Adjust that. Go through Bishop. I'll try to get a picture of that or film it. A gas station up there in Bishop, their fuel right now is probably over $5 a gallon. They're always extremely high. Not altitude either. I feel bad, but there was nothing I could do about it. I mean, I topped off before I came into California with fuel. And then I came down around by Barstow from Vegas and then up into San Francisco area, well, over Paso Robles, then up the 101. And then back down to San Bernardino and now up to Sparks, Nevada. And I had 66 gallons and 430 miles to go, roughly. I don't know what they're going to do. We can only get fuel at Pilot Flying J's. Now, up there in Sparks, Reno, there is no Pilot Flying J, except if you go east, I think 40 miles to Fernley. and there's 2 of them. I'll have to double check. I don't think there's any in Reno or Sparks. And so there's a Indian truck stop that's pretty good fuel prices, but they changed our fueling. We can't do that anymore, and if so, I'd have to call in and get it authorized. Before, I used to just go, oh, well, let me get, I have enough to get there, and I do now. I would have had enough to get there, and actually would have bought fuel cheaper than the discount that they give the company, that Flying J gives the company, which is why we can only fuel there, not the TA and not the Love's truck stops. Used to be just wherever you had to get fuel, you could get it. Not anymore. It's growing too big, and then it's when the restrictions become more prominent. You know, that's why we can't let Joe Biden get into office, or they will put so many regulations on everything. You know, restrict freedom of movement, restrict everything. How can you move if you're wearing a straitjacket? You can't. That's why you can't have restrictions, regulations. You know, the economy took off when he lowered taxes on and gave an incentive and released the regulations. I wish they would do it with the trucking company. It was a trucking industry, but they're not. It looks like a BMW new car tester coming up. I could just tell by the grill. There it is right there. It's not an M series, or it would look actually cool like the V. It would have some styling cues that give it away as a performance machine. But anyway, I would have been able to go up there and get fuel, and then, have enough to wherever I went. If I had to go straight back down 395 to SoCal, I could have got it there at the Four Corners, Kramer Junction, basically. Or if I was going back to Colorado, I'd get it in Fernley. If I was going Sacramento, I could have got fuel over there. Now, I'm going to be screwed unless I go one way. If I go back to Colorado, what is today? Today's the 15th. Well, it's tax day today. I need to call and ask for an extension. Everything's been locked down for this COVID thing, and I kind of spaced it out, and I just realized yesterday I gotta get my taxes done. But today's Wednesday. I delivered tomorrow morning. That'll be Thursday. So they should be sending me back to Colorado. Sorry. But who knows? I could end up going back to Southern California, then back to Colorado. But if that's the case, I'll be making a phone call telling them I need to get fuel. And I would have them do it at that Indian travel center because they have good fuel prices, actually. Company goes, they offer us a discount when we buy fuel there. Well, yeah. Because if you look at other truck stops in the area, they are usually 40 cents a gallon cheaper than the big box stores. The Loves, the Pilots, the TAs. And the other local truck stop the mom and pop shop, if you will, they're making money on their diesel. They're priced for the profit. The big ones are extremely greedy. So you don't even want to buy toothpaste in a truck stop. $8. What you could buy at Walmart for $1, a little dollar tube, not the little one, but the medium size. I don't know, 6 inches or whatever. $8 to $9 in a truck stop. Whereas Walmart or store, $1 or $2. Grocery store, they're ridiculous. But like you could buy a TV DVD combo for like $250. But it's some off-brand, like New Way. Have you ever heard of New Way TV or Naxo, Naxo television? No, neither have I. But it's what they sell there for $250. You can go to Walmart and buy a Vizio or Samsung for like $120, $150, and another $20, $30 for a DVD player, if you were so inclined. Save $100. But I'm sure they sell them because they still have them up there for sale. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with our return. But today, maybe we'll try to fish the Walker River. I'll buy me a fishing license online, a day pass. I have it set up in California pretty easy. All my information's there. I just hit spend. My daughter called me yesterday. It was like, oh, what do you think about this change shortage? I go, don't worry about it. I don't want it to go to a cashless society, and I don't want it to go to a cashless society either. If they go to a cashless society, you can't make any side money. Everything that you make is going to be taxed. Everything you do will be taxed. You can't hide it. It's all digital, or it's all, controlled. You go to the flea market, or the swap meet, and you walk around there with cash. How much is that? $20. I'll give you 10. No way. 15 as low as I go. Okay, here's $15. No tax. Just done deal between two people. It's just a shortage with the COVID thing. I don't know why. COVID seems to mess everything up. But they said it'll resume again. It's coming back around, the change. I got a 32-ounce cup full of change. If they want to get rid of anything, I'm totally cool if they want to get rid of pennies. I hate it when it's like $2.02. I'm like, really? You don't have a penny jar? I always throw my money in a penny jar. I'll break another $1 just for 2 cents. I always say it's every time too. I wish they'd just get rid of those things, I mean, back in the day, you could put a penny in and get a gumball, I remember as a kid in the mid-'60s, late 60s, getting a candy bar at 7-Eleven, 5 or 10 cents. But I understand how inflation goes, or how prices rise. which is one of the reasons why you eliminate the penny. But I sure hope we don't go to a cashless society. You know, we're already partly there. I can use my phone and touch the thing and boom, pay for something. Like a Bluetooth or wherever it works. Then you have cards. I just thought that's kind of funny. I was at this Mexican burrito place, really good burritos, across the street from Starbucks, north of Mississippi on 85. It's on the east side of the highway, right by Interstate 25. Just burrito. I don't think it has any other name than burrito. Awesome breakfast burritos. I mean, where it's like a whole egg, not scrambled. You know, Santiago's has really good breakfast burritos, but you can't. It's more like a freaking gravy mix. It's not. You know, this other one I ordered egg and steak. You know, and you get cheese, potatoes, and like a egg with the yolk broken, flipped over. It's freaking. They're really good. Anyway, I just lost my track of what I was thinking about that. I'll kick back here in a minute. Oh yeah. So, a lot of people, everybody wears masks when they go in there. I don't. A few of the workers are not wearing a mask, but they're in the back doing something else. You know, people doing the food are they're wearing masks. This guy had a list. And he put it on the counter, and she goes, "Oh no, you have to pick that up. You can't put it on the counter." "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he hands her cash. So his paper had COVID on it, but the cash didn't. Of course, everything's gonna have COVID on it, right? If it's COVID, everything's gonna be COVID. But I just thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, so you can't, she can't touch the paper. You can't put it on the counter, but yet you freely take money. You know, we've been taking money. Money's filthy. It's always been filthy. Almost all money has cocaine on it. It's just the way it's been. And unless you get new bills, of course, it's only a matter of time. But there's that rest area I was going to make it to last night, but I would have been a minute or two short. We don't need any violations. So we stayed at the other one. Anyway, I just find it kind of funny how people freak out about certain things, but yet will do something that technically is the same thing. Like, you can't touch your paper, don't put it on the counter, but I'll take your money. They're going to try to use that now to go to a cashless society. Well, the credit cards still have the COVID on it, right? Everything has the COVID on it. I don't know, I've been on this planet 58 years, and I've been dealing with viruses my whole life. Even caught a few of them. Mustered through it. Been sick with the flu, or I felt like dying, and I came back, you know. And we need this in our systems. We need this in our immune systems. Now, if you have asthma or you have underlying conditions, I understand you being skeptical and being scared, protective. More power to you. I'd probably do the same thing. But to lock everything down and shut this all down is absolutely asinine and insane. You know, we live in a world, we've always lived in a world with viruses. It's a scare tactic, I believe, and they're trying to, they're pissed because Trump isn't going with the New World Order. They can't control him. Thank God they can't. And they're absolutely losing their minds. You know, Biden and Pelosi and Schumer and McConnell and all these guys have been in government for so long and haven't done anything but destroy this country. You need term limits in Congress. They don't need to make careers out of it. It's like, oh, I want to see Trump's taxes. I want to see, you know, he was a billionaire who gave up everything to work for free. I want to see the taxes of all these Congress people who went in broke and are now millionaires. You know, that'll tell you what's going on. Term limits, they were supposed to work for the people, not control the people, and that's what they're doing. We need to take this back. We need term limits absolutely right now. You only go in for a few, 2 or 4 years, you get out, give somebody else a term. Sit there making careers out of it. It's absolutely ridiculous. They have term limits on the presidency and term limits in Congress. Anyway, I'll try to get off the political crap. Anyway, it's all started from this COVID thing, and I'm sick of it already. I've traveled all over the U.S. during this whole pandemic without wearing masks. The closer we get to opening up, the more they force me to wear a mask. I will admit, I've put one on a few times, just if I'm forced to, as a shipper or receiver. And as soon as I get back out, I take it off. Or if it's some food and a takeout that I want, if I want it bad enough, I'll do it. If not, I just shun them. I've been doing everything the same I've always done my whole life. And knock on wood, I haven't got sick. Did it last year, a year before, and 56 years before that. Anyway, it's beautiful out here, huh? Death Valley is to the right of us. I think it's like the highest and the lowest point in the U.S. Continental U.S. Because Alaska has, I think, a higher mountain. I think it's Mount McKinley to the left over here, and then to the east is Death Valley. Anyway, I'll see you up in the high country. Okay, we're leaving Bishop, fixing for elevation change. This here is quite the hill. I don't really know the name of it, but Mammoth Mountain's up there. It's a pretty steady climb. Kind of goes up a little bit to the right, over there about 2 o'clock, and then dog legs to the left over to about 11 o'clock, and then up and over Red Rover. Tom's Place in 15 miles. That's up on top. Pine Creek Pack Trains. Me and my dad and a friend of mine were up there at June Lake Loop. We took horses back up for like a camping trip. They take you back there, and then take the horse, drop you off, take the horses back, and then bring the horses back up and take you back down. It was actually pretty cool. Except for my dad, he packed light because of the horses. He wanted to take it easy on the horses. So he packed light. So needless to say, we got towards the end, we were pert near starving. And the people, they brought people up there to then take us back down. And those people had like a big old wooden cabinet, like the pantry. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I asked the guy, oh yeah, the horses can handle it just fine. I looked at my dad and I'm like, dude, what the hell? Yeah, I think we were like 7 or 9 days back there. A place called Thousand Lakes area. Like kind of due west of Silver Lake and the June Lake Loop. It's actually pretty fun. And then we came back, as we were getting closer to the station, whatever the hell it is. The stalls, the corral, where the horses live. As we were getting closer, the horses kept trying to run back to the place, and I had already known they had quite the workout, and we're holding back the reins, trying to keep these horses from like taking off. Finally, it's like it got so tiring to do that. I finally said, "Screw it," and let the horse just go. And boom, they hightailed it, got it back to the corral there. And the guy said, "What the hell are you doing riding these horses like that?" It's like, dude, we did everything in our power to hold these horses back. They knew they were coming home, and they weren't having no part of it, so we had to let them go. You should know this. They should have known that. We were kids, I don't know, early teens, 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood. Mono County. Where they honor veterans. So I did a little shopping at the Vaughn's there in Bishop. Mask required. I had to get groceries. So I got this mask. It's actually kind of dirty because I use it to blow out my trailers, so it's dusty a bit. I put it on and I put it over my chin. Huh. Nobody said nothing to me. My mouth, my nose were open. I put it on because I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was pulling it up if anybody gave me shit, but I was going to say, do masks work? Do they really work? Yes, they do. I go, then you don't have nothing to fear. You're protected. You're wearing a mask. But nobody said anything. So I was able to get a few groceries I needed, and then I hightailed it out. So this is a pretty good hill. And usually in the wintertime, I mean, they can get snow on here, of course, but they don't usually. Usually it's by the time you get up here, a chain station up here somewhere, you have to chain up. Or down at the bottom. But this is quite the hill. I'd say 6 to 8%. Maybe even more at some areas. Sarah Lee. It's a license plate. Sarallee. wonder what the locals call this hill. Maybe we'll see a name for it. Some of you watching probably know. I've been over it quite a bit. I just never really thought to think about it. I mean, like where I'm from, we have Coffee Divide, Red Dirt Hill, just a few areas around the county. Coffee Divide is a little hill. You come from the valley and then boom, you pop up maybe 700-800 feet and boom, there's a big old lake, Lake Granby. It's known as Coffee Divide. And Red Dirt is between Tabernash and Granby. Looks like Adopt a Highway is working in this part of the world. They got these Radiator water tanks sitting on the side of the road. Already passed one. Here comes another one. I know that's old school. Nobody uses water in a radiator anymore other than a percentage, but if you were to blow, they could at least get you back up on the road again. So you can switch it out. Fixing to hit 6,000 feet. It's a pretty good climb. We only have, we got tires on board, about 15,000 pounds. So that's why we're cruising around about 42 miles an hour. -90-degree temperature. The radiator temperature is about 210, 215. Drop down to 87. see at the top. Just a little bit more. Up to 84 now. Let's see it going down. Lake Crawley is a lake. It's like one of the first. It's like the season opener, if you will, for ice off fishing. About 7,000 foot elevation. Sherwin Summit. So there we go. Sherwin Hill, Sherwin Summit. Show you that in a minute. It's old Tom's place to the left. This seems more like the summit to me than back there, what they're calling Sherwin Summit. Right about here seems to be the highest point. Looks like all the highway passes are open. Crawley Lake is to the right of us. I'll show you here in a minute. Nice to see boats out there. There's the lake over there, behind old Mike the Choked Chicken. Got my tripod set at an angle, so when I turn it, it kind of messes up. Okay, we made it up here, about 86 degrees. Hot, hot, hot for the climate, for the area, I guess. So in this video here, and do some more filming up here as we continue our journey through the Sierra Nevadas. Don't want to make them too long. Thanks again for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Till the next time, enjoy. Peace. See ya.